taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
There we go. Yeah, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, it's just real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm Lamb, introduce himself.
What it do? It's the Bodega Shutter God. No, it's Pilot. We're here. It's me and Pat. Two-man gang, pause. We here. We live. Let's get it. Bring it ready.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. Shutterworth will probably join us a little later. And I believe King P will not be on tonight. But obviously, if he does change the plans, he'll get the link and he'll get on. But yeah, man, pretty much in terms of boxing, like I said, obviously this was this was a fairly light weekend of boxing, but doesn't mean But however, it did yield a new KO of the year candidate and an upset of the year candidate for that matter. Of course, the event we're talking about will be Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. But before we get into that particular fight and my thoughts about it, man, like Ashton Sylvie, man, like I know you watched the whole thing, bro.
I was high on him. I'm still high on him, but that was I just want to say real quick, I felt like that was going to happen eventually, but not then and there.
Yeah, exactly. Because the fun things too, I was high on Sylvie too. Because like I said, like when as we all know, he was supposed to fight Schofield, and of course, like I said, you don't get too many young black prospects fighting each other, top black prospects. So we were all looking forward to that. But but other things too, Sylvie did not like. When the fight had to be postponed, Sylvie did say, "You know what? Let's make a lateral move. Let's try to find a top guy, at least in the rankings, to do, and enter Body. Who was ranked? I think was it for WBA and IBF? If I'm not mistaken, Pilot.
Yeah, he was among the rankings. I mean, he's one of those guys at 135 that are kind of like not top 10, not top 10, but 15 to 20ish, right? Yeah, no, absolutely. And the one thing about him too is and even more so is his record is he was 18-0 with 16 knockouts, so pretty much okay, this is a lateral move right now. He's just not as known as Schofield was. So I was like, okay, this is this will be great. So. And for the most part, he was, Sylvie was, I don't know the deal, but Sylvie was winning the fight to me, hands down. He was boxing his head off. Yeah, it was probably 4-1, right? 4-1-ish, maybe. Yeah, 4-1-ish, 5-1-ish, maybe 5-2. Or 4-2, 5-1-ish for Sylvie. But the thing with Sylvie, and the thing too, is that Sylvie started getting a little bit, he was feeling himself a little bit too much. He was starting to get lax on his defense. He was playing with his foot. I felt like he should have pressed the issue a little bit, and I don't know. I might have mentioned on the previous cast, as his two past step ups, he didn't get KOs. He might have dropped one of the opponents. Yep. But he was a guy that there's certain guys that trust their chin, right? Right. And I noticed that he did get tagged. I think I saw an interview with Batty today talking about the Falco fight, and noticing after halfway through the fight he was getting tagged a little bit. So there was a moment where he almost maybe got dropped, the previous fight, serious. Right. But and I was honestly legitimately shocked when that happened. Yeah, because it was just thrown so swift too. It was first he caught him with the right hand, and then he doubled up the right hand, and then after that doubled up right hand, a left hook followed right behind it. The first one got him out, you think, or? It was. I think the first one kind of may have frozen. The second one had him out. The left hook put him in. Put him to dreamland. Lala.
Yeah, it was he was asleep. And salute, Blazing Killer. That's what's up. Thank you for joining. Yeah, and funny things too is the wild thing is Sylvie is down face first, and the referee was more concerned about stopping Body from celebrating, get on the ropes and celebrating, and tell him to go to his corner.
That was weird. That was real weird.
Yeah, like he was literally grabbing dude from like to bring it up. Like, well, I was like, what is his problem? Like, seriously. Like, as the ref, you see an unconscious fighter, like you're supposed to kind of remove his mouthpiece so you don't suffocate. You know, like when he's out unconscious. Because it wasn't like Sylvie was moving. Like Sylvie was out cold while the referee was trying to stop you from celebrating.
I mean, that's grown. I mean, that was a fight that we were looking forward to in terms of, you know, grown men versus young. You know, he's 20, he's a man, but you know, 20-year-old versus 30-year-old. You know.
Yeah. You know, and it really looked like Sylvie was like, he was going to clear it, and then we were going to get Schofield in December. You know, but now, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, not at all, not at all.
I mean, if anything, I'd say maybe try to run it back because it looks like if he was being beat from pillar to post originally from now it would be like yeah, okay, maybe you might want to avoid this guy, but he was winning that fight handily, like
clearly
yeah.
Busting him up.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, I mean, young prospect, he just got caught, and like shout out to Body, you know, like I said, you know, he was as a replacement, you know. And making use of this because I mean, basically, he basically was the reason why that shit went viral. The event kind of went viral. But yeah, and Body. I mean, if anything like that, I know his ranking. I mean, I know he's probably gonna go. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a top 10 ranking.
Who, Body?
Yeah,
definitely. I think I've been hearing, you know, maybe Body versus Kid Austin, you know, is a fight because Body's a free agent, you know, so it's kind of like,
yeah,
he's not with the promoter, so
yeah, and obviously Body's called you know, it's called Schofield out and said, hey, you know, I'm willing to fight you next on Jake Paul, Mike Tyson card and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, you know, like I said, I mean, if of course, if he was going to be if you're going to do another lateral move or whatever, yeah, Blazer Kill, yeah, he was too defensively irresponsible that night. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was playing with his food. You know, he was kind of just basically he was just too nonchalant. He basically forgot that he was fighting a guy that has like a 96% KO rate.
Yeah, and I was talking. I wasn't gonna lie. I was in my Discord chat. Shout out TVBC. I was literally saying I don't know if his KO ratio 16 out of 14 KOs out of 16 wins seemed kind of fraudulent and like at first because he was getting busted up. And I mean I did again. He was shut up the boxing voice. I was listening to his interview just earlier today, and he was talking about how he knew the second half of the fight he could probably hurt him and catch him, but he didn't even. I don't think anybody fucking expected the way.
Yeah, no, yeah. When he caught to we definitely learned that power of his is for real. Like, I mean, if he's getting all those not clearly, because I mean that was one hell of a combination, like a 2-2-3. Like that was like I mean it's rare that you see people double up on right hands the way he did.
That last right too. I mean he was out. The first one might have dropped him, but that second one was probably the kill shot.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that he didn't land the right hook after the right hand after the left hook landed, because that basically missed him, because he probably would have been in trouble had that last right hand landed.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy. I was literally saying, oh, maybe Silva, should fight that guy Marksman who in the fight before, who had a fight of the year, on the Silva Falco card, the Marksman fight, which was kind of a little honestly, it's underwhelming. It was probably the best technical fight of the night, but do you think? Well, real quick on that fight, do you think Marksman won that fight against Aguilar?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, Marksman's a nice little. They're kind of small for 135, but Marksman's a guy that you could use, on those cards. He's a good fighter. Yeah,
and let's say I'll give. Jake. Jake gives prospects a platform. So just the fact that he gave Sylvie and Marksman, all of them a good platform. His undercards are decent enough. And if they produce, they produce. But if I was Body, of course, like I said, there's only he could earn another shot at Jake Paul card, or maybe run it back with Sylvie. Yeah, my fear is I just hope Sylvie, this doesn't dissuade Sylvie, or this, because you know how it is. A knockout like that usually sometimes it makes it more susceptible to be cracked like that again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not a flash kill, but I would say, he tweeted after the fight. He was a good sport about it, and I know he might have said he might have had a little beef with fighters, but he always came off like a likable kid, so it kind of stung a little bit. That's boxing, though. I mean, but
right.
He was gracious in defeat. I'm hoping he's 20 years old. I hope he can bounce back. It's just it's unfortunate, but that's boxing. At the end of the day, but he tweeted. Maybe he was a little concussed when he was tweeting, but either way, I'm pulling for him. I'm still a fan of him. Fuck, niggas get locked. People get locked out and come back from it. But it's gonna be a little like, is he gonna fight cautious now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can be a career ender. I mean, that could really be a career ender.
Well, in the defense, I mean, if anything, he's gonna have to learn to. I mean, there's lessons not to play with his foot and to keep his hands up, or to bring his hands back instead of just leaving his lead hand lingering out too much for him to get countered. So basically, these are lessons that he learned, and he learned it unfortunately probably early in his career. So I mean, like I said, I hope Sylvie can get this behind him, and it's not like a weird mental block where if he gets tagged, he gets dropped face first.
He basically he's shell shocked for life, like how Maidana did Broner.
Yeah,
even though Bird didn't get stopped, but I'm just saying, afraid. That's not the same fighter. You're not as aggressive. You're gun shy, and that's right.
And then thumbs down to all those people that were kind of comparing, that were memeing him up and comparing it to Devin Haney being face first.
The Devin Haney challenge. That's trash. But that's it. That's the internet.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this was not saying like that dude. That young man was winning that fight. And like I said, I bet you if they run it back in about 4 months or so, he'll probably prove it though. But
he could probably win a decision, But that's the thing. I think Body would probably, unless Jake wants to pay him, the fattest bag possible. I don't think he'd want to do that fight again. He wants to move on with, he wants to move on, right?
Yeah, he wants a higher profile fight. So I don't blame him. High profile fight, high profile card, and I personally don't blame him.
Get him versus Kid Austin.
Yeah. I mean, Kid Austin, he was saying like, yo, he was up for the fight though, and shout out to Kid Austin for not piling on Sylvie too.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad
either.
Not too bad.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that was easily that's a kid. I mean, that was an upset. I mean, it's not the biggest upset of the year because there was. Cause I think he was like plus 500, for upset, which is not the biggest so far though. But that KO though was just thrown too swift. That way, that was just a
if an undercard fight on a boxing fight hits a Bleacher Report, then that's major.
Exactly.
That's major. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that was the big thing on the card, and of course we mentioned the Marksman fight, which was a hell of a fight for that matter. Like it was a hell of a fight. Him and Aguilar, they just stand. Yeah. Like I said. They don't know how to make a bad fight.
Yeah, that was a good. I mean, I know that they might have been amateur. I don't know did you catch that first fight on the Falco Sylvie? That was like low key the best 6-round fight in a long time between them two. Even though I thought Marksman won that fight, I get why they did that. But Marksman, I just checked his box rank. He's only 23, so maybe that's the guy. I don't know if he's with MVP, but he deserves another spot. And whether it be on a Netflix card or whatever. He deserves to be a back up, on a Jake Paul card because whether you like it or not, Jake Paul does 17,000 strong. I mean, he gets the Peter's Putin.
Right, and then we had the thumbs down on this card, and believe me, there was a couple of thumbs downs on this fucking card. Number one, Shadeja Green. I don't know what her problem is. She was coming in here, she was knocking broads out, stopping them, but her last 3 fights, she just looked incredibly mid. It's just mid. And even though she won last night, she got dropped.
Yeah, she got hit on the chest, but it was a clear drop.
It was a clear drop, yeah. And in front of these two, she was arguing with the referee so much that the referee almost counted her stupid ass out. What are you doing? Get your ass up.
Yeah. Boxing lady of rage needs to tighten up or whatever, because she was looking good. She got hit a little bit. That Spence chick was tough, but it's Yeah, she's just kind of mid. I mean, she's just kind of mid. That's what.
She's mid. Like, I mean, like the Cruz the Cruz DeZern fight was like what the fuck, like because I thought she would have knocked Cruz DeZern out. Except Cruz DeZern just easily beat her.
Easily showed that there's levels in boxing.
Yeah, I mean honestly, if I was Jake Paul, I would cut my losses with that one. Like she's getting to what she's not like I don't know. She's just not improving. She's not having any real. She hasn't had a really good fight in a while.
Yeah, she's a little old too, probably. So it's like. Yeah, I mean, shouts out because people clown on Jake, but he did make Amanda Serrano a household name millionaire. I know he's building boxing gyms in Puerto Rico and shit. That's where he trains out of. Building a hub. So, you can say what you want, but he's giving a spotlight on boxing, and he takes the craft seriously. So I mean,
I mean, in terms of the promoting, and of course, when we get to the fight, I'll get more into my views on Jake the boxer, Jake the promoter, and. Also, what Jake needs to stop doing is someone needs to stop giving Chavez Jr. these looks on the card. Like, what the fuck? Like Uriah Hall. The funny thing is too is like that fight was a lot closer than it probably should have.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought he might have lost that fight though. I ain't gonna lie with you.
I did too because Uriah Hall Uriah Hall actually managed to trademark Chavez Jr. Like you see, like his left eye is all red and puffy and shit. And this is a former UFC like guy. Like I think he's only had like one pro boxing fight, but it just seemed like I guess this is his career now. Like he was in drug rehab, and then he gets put on a card.
That was a cash grab. He's gonna try to get a Jake Paul fight. I ain't gonna lie, Jake Paul would probably blast him out. Like honestly, I'm not even lying. Like Uriah Hall stood his own more than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, he did, and that's what scares me because the WBA is always like, Jake Paul Chavez Jr. for cruiserweight championship. No, what up, LB? I see you snuck in.
What up, bro?
And then roll.
How about Bridget Wade?
Yeah, and truthfully, you know what? Give that motherfucker a Bridget Wade title on some real shit, they need or make the fight. Yeah, they need to leave cruiserweight alone because
leave the real divisions alone. Let them fight at Bridger Wade. Let them get some notoriety there. Like at least you killed two birds with one stone.
I want to mention real quick some breaking news in regard to the Trevor McCumbee and Caleb Plant fight. That is going to be postponed or canceled due to a cut for McCumbee. I just saw that. So. The first free card, right? The first free card is crazy, right? But yeah, just want to throw it out there.
Well, I mean, that should be
Blazing Killers. Salute, I appreciate it. Salute, Chris Brand.
Yeah, and LB, like you might actually been more right about Shadeja Green than any of us, because we said before that she was just mid, like she's mid. She got dropped, and everything, like
I saw the clip of her getting dropped. I didn't get to see her fight, but I saw the whole card except for Jake Paul's fight. I didn't get to see Jake Paul fight yet, but so how did Shadeja look? Just mid, like mid. It's still lazy.
Yes.
Yeah, getting hit too much.
Now she's getting hit too much too. Damn.
Dropped, but it was more so she got hit on her chest, but it was still
a clean knockdown.
Cause you could knock somebody down with a good chest piece, like even in street fights. So
she hasn't improved like
Yeah, I expected. I mean, she should be running 168 right now, but I guess it's not in her right now to do that.
So damn, she peaked before she even got the title.
That's what it looks like now. Because I was like, yeah, Jake Paul probably needs to cut his losses with that one. Like
he just comes off lazy, and she's still looking lazy. Like I didn't even see. I just saw the clip, and from what y'all telling me, wow. But yeah, man, like I've seen that type of fighter too many times in this game, yo.
Yeah.
But I don't think the difference is I don't think she had it was easier to catch it early in her because she didn't possess no type of overwhelming talent or anything where you fell in love with that first. You just kind of just saw the power.
And she was facing, be honest, her competition were cans, back,
True, but some people play kick the can and some people play kick the can.
Yeah. Some are can crushers, some use their hands.
Yeah, like so. It depends on how you treat them cans. Make me notice, but yeah, you're right.
Right. And which, of course, now brings us to the ultimate can in the main event with Mike Perry, facing Jake Paul. Now, I will say this too, and just look, if I don't know what it is when with some of these guys, like you would think, Mike Perry is undefeated in bare knuckle. You would have thought that he would have learned some fucking defense, like honestly, like. And this is the stereotype of bare. This is why I don't necessarily like watching bare knuckle fighting all that much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love bloody fights and that, but sometimes just seeing guys just willingly go in there and just getting pieced up like that is just like with no skill whatsoever. Like they're getting hit with all types of wild shit, and it's
almost like the skills regress to lesser than a street fight. Because I see niggas move their head and block in a street fight at least.
Yeah, and these
so it's like everybody abandoned their skills and common sense and bare knuckle. Like the fuck.
I mean, this is why I think Austin Trout is kind of now flourishing there, and why Paulie Malignaggi is taking L's in that shit. You know what I'm saying though? But Mike Perry though, I swear there wasn't a punch that he did not eat in that fight. He ate a lot of clean punches in that damn fight. And the fun thing is too, and he ate so much that he gassed Jake out by the end of the first round. But his offense though, outside of like either a left hook or like a wild right hand, like dude wasn't putting together no punches like that together. He was just trying to tire him out and then just try to land that one punch. It's like a combination punch. Go to the body. You don't have to headhunt.
Hold on, this is Jake Paul you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Perry.
Oh, okay.
Jake, however, you could tell his movement was labored. Like you could see every single time he took a hit, his hair was flying upwards, and you could see him turning more fucking red because he was breathing so damn hard. But it was Jake Paul. However, because Mike Perry decided he wanted to go eat every punch, that's why Jake Paul was able to knock him down in the first and the second rounds too, like clean. But Perry got up and he even won, I think, a couple of those rounds just off pressure. Just pressuring, and I think he had one really good round where it looked like Jake Paul was kind of in trouble. Because, he was like, you could tell he was breathing hard in his corner and shit like that.
Yeah, Jake Paul never seems like he's in good shape, like in his fights. Like, it always seemed like everything is so labored and premeditated. Like,
I mean, my thing is because, he's, I mean, I know he weighed in at 200, but I think I know he gained some weight after the weigh-in, whatever. My guess is he doesn't whatever weight that he's trying to fight at, he shouldn't be fighting there. Like he's fighting he's fighting too heavy.
So you think he's more like a 175, like light heavyweight?
Yeah, I do.
But all his fights seem like that though. It don't seem like no matter what weight he's at, he's always laboring. And he's not like he's throwing a gazillion punches either.
Right, yeah, exactly. And when he doesn't,
like he looks good in training though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe he has a hard time like relaxing in the ring. Who knows? I mean, that could be another thing. Like maybe he's the type of person who just get mentally burnt out. Or he burns out early, and then it's just like, okay, you have to wait for the second wind to kick in, and which it did. And then he proceeded to pummel Mike Perry like from pillar to post. And Mike wouldn't go down, though. I'll give him that, though. And the crowd was chanting his name, like instead of Jake Paul. Like they were trying to will him to do something, but like the referee had to finally step in. I think it was the sixth round.
Yeah, it was the sixth round from what I heard. I saw the last knockdown. I never saw the other two.
Yeah. So with Jake Paul again, he knocks out a non-boxer, and then. Of course, he throws his little shot at Mike Tyson, and then he's like, I'm going to be cruiserweight champion of the world, and I am going to, this, that, and the third. And then I think he said he wants to fight with Alex Pereira, again, like Dana White's going to send over his top UFC fighter to go to box Jake Paul. That's not going to happen. Blazing Killer, would you guys entertain Jake Paul versus Berlanga at 175?
Yes.
Yes. Funny thing is, dude, we actually talked about that shit earlier today. Like that was actually discussed. Like
that's not even a bad fight. That's the point. That's how bad Berlanga has fallen off. Where a Jake Paul fight is actually a good fight for him.
Yeah, because truthfully, Berlanga's level would be known if he fought Jake Paul. Like you would absolutely would know. Like if he struggles with Jake Paul, then that's his level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but and I would say it for shits and giggles, but yeah. I mean, Jake Paul also would have to lose like 20-something pounds or whatever to get Berlanga. Because I don't see Berlanga going up to like 195 or whatever the fuck. You know,
175 should work.
Yeah. And of course, we have our troll, Pastor Jeremiah, Blessings Pat Scorpio, Blessings Pilot, Blessings Brother Rome, Shuttleworth, aka Lucifer. The Lord will pass His judgment on you.
Damn, like not me, like.
He, she, a fan, he, a fan. I'm just kidding.
Like, nigga.
Yeah, no, but at least with Jake Paul, like I said, I mean, the only thing that really knows me is the whole cruiserweight thing because his boxing's clearly it's regressed in some fashion. I mean, other than his conditioning issues, like there's nothing about his boxing that says, "Hey, I'm going to go fight Opataya or something like that," or Zerto or someone like that for cruiserweight title. That's not going to work.
Nah, he would get murdered. Like, stop playing.
Yeah, like yes, because you can't play that game with 175 or heavyweight because for his level they're they're straight killers, especially 175.
Dude, come on, he would have to knock out Chavez Jr. for me to take him kind of semi-serious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's knocking out Chavez Jr. in 2024 or 2025.
This is Jake Paul we're talking about, though. This ain't anybody else.
I mean, if Silva can fucking
I got more faith in y'all niggas knocking out Chavez Jr. than Jake Paul. Look, you know what I mean? Because, like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, no. Damn. And like I said, that's
not a bad fight. At least he's a real boxer, and he's better than fucking Tommy Fury.
Yeah. Tommy Fury struggled, and Tommy Fury, of course, is the one that gave Jake his only defeat, and he did it in struggle fashion. Even got his ass knocked down in the process. So or
unless you rematch Tommy Fury, but it's not like that was the most entertaining fight. Yeah, it
was horrible. It was a horrible fight.
Yeah.
That was even worse. Like, you gotta lose. You can't be losing in that struggle fashion. You also have struggle boxing. Like, that's why I said Jake Paul. I mean, eventually the charade is going to come to an end. It depends on if
it did partially already. That's why it finally took he just now kind of got his got back on his buzz again. Like it took to this fight to get him back in that light again.
Right, especially because, like I said, I mean, you're talking about a guy. I mean, he didn't knock out Fury. He went the distance with both Nate Diaz and Silva, but then all of a sudden he's knocking out quote unquote real boxers. All of a sudden, like nah,
yeah.
I know what a dive looks like. I've seen WWF. That people they sell that shit. Like, there's no way in hell this motherfucker's bodying quote unquote real boxers the way that he has. Like, nah.
Yeah, I'm most vocal about most of the Willie fight being a dive. I will say though that the Perry fight wasn't a dive.
No, it wasn't a dive.
That was just a massacre.
No, but it's just the thing. It's like it's not like he went from Silva, Nate Diaz, and then what's his name, Perry. It's like he had to get those confident jobbers out the way first. He beat
the black dude my boy went to school with, and he beat the out of shape white dude.
The
two quote unquote boxers.
And the black guy was a Golden Gloves.
Undefeated, I think, or maybe one loss. But
so it's like, come on, get out of here. He's not supposed to be doing that to this type of guy.
Right. Yeah, and then
ain't stupid.
Yeah, and then he struggled against Mike Perry. Like, the shit don't add up. Like, we all know the shenanigans.
He should have did what he did to that black guy to Mike Perry.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all know, like I know now. I mean, I know now that obviously he's fighting Mike Tyson, and like I said, that now the fucking thing is, I thought this was because one thing, my fear is I don't want it to turn to Holyfield Belfort 2, because that shit still pisses me off, Yeah, and that's what killed Triller for me too. It's just like, okay, we have Mike Tyson there. Is Mike Tyson is he still walking around with a cane, a walker, or anything like that?
The health scare. I mean, he went to the hospital for some shit on the on the airplane. He had a
Honestly, I was like, I didn't really care for the fight, but it was something I was like, fuck it, because the platform and what else it was bringing to the table, and I know anytime you put those two on a card, it's always done, like, for some reason they make sure that's just done well. So I was like, okay, this is a good move. This is a decent move for boxing. It could push the sport a little forward. But honestly, that whole flight shit where he got sick on the flight shit, that kind of killed the fight for me. Like, after that, I felt like that was the boxing gods kind of just giving us a warning, like, yeah, like, we don't need to go through this.
Yeah, like, Mike may not be Mike. It's not. He's not. I mean, he's 4 years removed from being in the ring. Where he actually performed admirably against Roy Jones. But then Roy Jones.
If it was anybody his age, yeah. But this Jake Paul's too young. Like.
But the thing is, though, at least Mike Tyson doesn't gas out after one round. That's even old Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but
Paul's
that's the thing. I don't know if Mike Tyson's really sparring like that in the gym to even get used to some young dude clocking him side the head. Like, yeah, I mean, I look at all that shit.
We always see that fancy peekaboo, vintage, highlights, but it's different. Mike Tyson's an old ass man. I'm just saying, be mentally.
He still lay out most dudes on the street, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. But
talking about like 3-minute rounds and shit.
So would Jake. Really, I mean, in a club, Willie and Jake Paul would probably, fuck some people up. I'm just saying, but either way, just be mentally prepared to see an icon knocked out by a Disney star. I'm just letting people know. Just don't.
Or some weird fuckery, or some Super Friends Wonder Twins bullshit.
Look, I'm gonna keep the faith that Tyson uppercut will find Jake's chin and Jake will go face first on the canvas. Yes,
honestly, that's the best outcome you could really hope for. Like boxing wise, if Tyson just knocked out Jake Paul, then hey, good, great, thank you. Like, everybody can have breathe a sigh of relief.
Right, because either that or again, like as we've seen before, some jobber's gonna be thinking like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Why am I taking a dive for this guy? This guy can't fuck with me, and he's gonna end up beating the shit out of him. So it's probably better for him to lose to an all-time great, like I said, than some jobber down the line that's gonna catch him and be like, oh, okay.
The school of Campbell Hatton jobbers.
Right.
Yeah, they be fighting tooth and nail with Hatton's son, boy. I tell you, like.
Yeah,
let one of them jobbers deal with them, like their big brother or some shit fight Jake Paul. I don't know. It's bad. Like they go for theirs. Fuck that.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, overall, for what it was, it did provide entertainment. Like I said, a KO of the year candidate, an upset of the year candidate. The undercard moved. The main event, was what it was because Perry decided to eat every punch in the book.
Serrano opponent ate every punch in the book.
Oh yeah, Serrano. Yeah, I forgot to even mention that. Yeah, honestly, I was.
Jeez, that was like a walking heavy bag.
Yeah, I'm like, geez, like you're 13-0 with 12 knockouts. Like, I wasn't expecting her to get beat down like that. Like,
who was the fucking? Who was she beating up? Yo, honestly, because I was explaining that shit to my sister. I was like, yo, this is like the super bad soccer mom KO.
Yeah, that was the teacher. That was a super bad teacher.
Yeah, the teacher. But imagine if she couldn't drop her, so she just kept hitting her over and over.
What was that shit though? What the fuck? Like this girl that got
it had a winning record. Like, where they finding these broads?
Yeah.
Cause damn, I know, man. I got some chicks right now who knock the shit out of these broads.
Well, let me ask y'all real quick, since we're on the Serrano topic. I had a couple names. I just want to ask y'all who y'all think would win between Serrano. Okay, so I'm gonna say first name. I'm gonna say is Baumgartner. Who wins?
Serrano.
Sky Nicholson.
Serrano.
You sure, Scott? Okay.
Well, I still can't crack an egg though, but I don't think.
I don't think she'll take the power from Serrano.
I mean, Sky can box. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I know it's kind of a little boring, but she
can box. She can box her ass off. Man, she's tough.
Both those girls are younger, so I just thought maybe they could take one of the goats out. I'm just saying, beat her.
I mean, they got a chance in the fight, but I don't like they're up against it. Like Baumgartner's been in dog fights, so
what's wrong?
He has a chance, but she'll get gassed out after like 4 rounds.
Would Serrano be able to stop Katie this go around if they do the rematch?
One only hope.
Yeah, one could only hope because this is the thing. Like, she'll have to stop her because they're not gonna give her the fight.
Yeah, they never do.
And this is the thing. This is a Katie that's already been like took a couple like smackings up ins.
Yeah, shout out to Cameron. She won a fight. She should have stopped that chick earlier in the day, but she did pretty well herself.
Got robbed that second fight. Fucking dirty ass Katie Taylor.
WWE bullshit.
Josh Warrington mutt style boxing.
Yeah, no, Katie Taylor's now because she does just like Warrington. Funny thing too is like when they were in their primes, they're a world. They weren't as dirty, and they're just a whirlwind of activity. But once they lose a step, they're the dirtiest fighters in the fucking world. It's amazing. Right. Yeah. And
the crazy part is Katie Taylor was worse than Warrington in their last fights.
She was.
Like that's like she absorbed his powers and like went better with it or something. Like this is nasty. I hate that shit.
Yeah, and that's why of course Cameron was like, you know what, fuck you, Eddie. Let me I'm out. Like, yeah, let me get away from y'all. Like, you're clearly playing with my emotions and my titles and shit.
Yeah. Bitch, always having to fight this bitch at her hometown. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
the fans are trying to make it seem like
Katie holding for 5 rounds and not getting a warning. But I see the ref barking at Cameron, and coupled with the WWE commentary, oh, Cameron's doing a good effort, but Katie Taylor's the GOAT. Like, fuck out of here, something like that.
Yeah, fuck that bullshit ass commentary. And yeah, all the goddamn holding this bitch was doing. I'm just disgusted. Like, yo, Serrano, you don't knock this broad the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I know, damn, she be tired of having these damn ongoing arguments randomly with Clarissa Shields about this whole GOAT shit. And Jake Paul just be adding fuel to the fire on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw some of it. I was like, why? That's like, I thought they were cool. I was like, why are they beefing over the boat shit again?
Yeah, because this is the thing. Clarissa don't want no one to ever use that shit in reference to someone else. And it's like, you can't control if somebody calls her that or if Jake Paul calls her that.
Right.
And she's great enough to respond to it.
Leaking DMs is corny for the most part. And she, because that's how the
and it was unnecessary. Like, and this is why, like, she's so unlikable.
It just reads of insecurity. Like,
it does, bro. Like,
you had an ESPN cover. You've SB gold medalist. Like, come on, come on. Why are you so insecure? Like, that's why you're unlikable. On fucking internet. Like,
yeah, the insecurity is a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just so extra. Like you're great. Like, and you got a fight coming up.
Do y'all notice it's usually the Olympic, Shakur, Clarissa, like, these Olympic boxers are a little sensitive. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, like, goodness. It ain't never used to be like that with all of them. Like, this last couple crops, man, sensitive ass niggas.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like you just want some of these guys to win a fucking gold medal, but some of them they medal and then they just go on to this other shit with the social media and stuff like that.
Wear your medal and shut the fuck up.
I'm saying.
I'm like racist reporters. Like, wear your goddamn medal and shut the fuck up. but sometimes, honestly, like. It's like it don't sound good coming from some cracker saying it sometimes, but
Right.
Sometimes you do need somebody to just tell you that shit because these dudes be doing the most. Like,
yeah,
just put your medal and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you have the medal, you have titles, you have some money. All right, just be happy with that instead of fighting over something as trivial as whoa. It's not even catchy. It doesn't roll off your tongue.
Yeah, and it's like you took that from Ali, and it's like what if Ali's daughter ever called you out every time over that shit? Like come on.
Right.
It's not like you beat her for the name, like motherfucker. Stop.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, go.
And even think when y'all had the chance, y'all couldn't even make that happen. Like
super facts.
So how bad did you want the name? Like if somebody came up and was like, man, like if another group of niggas talk about like, man, we're Ring Gang, and they tried to show some proof from the 90s or whatever the fuck, and they wanted to shoot the fade or something, then like nigga, like yes, that's happening.
Yeah, I almost forgot that fight was almost being talked about. Fucking Layla Ali and her.
Nigga, we talked about it on Ring Gang.
I almost forgot about that shit. Yeah, like I was like,
so we got so many fucking episodes. That's what it is. Like seriously.
Well, not just the episode. I mean, I forgot that was actually a thing with those two for a bit.
Yeah, because remember, it was. I think one of them was on World Star, like not World Star, Breakfast Club.
Yeah, because this is when Layla was kind of like, she was kind of feeding the trolls and feeding the whole thing, and then she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna come out of retirement," because she was like, "Well, I remember I think she was trying to do a little training, but she just didn't feel the spark anymore." So,
and then it's like no one really like definitely put up no bread either.
That too, yeah. Cause
it's hard, if somebody would have had $1 million, and that's the thing, what they throwing around now.
Yeah.
If somebody would have threw $1 million at her, I'm sure niggas would have got that spark.
Yeah, that too. Because Layla
deserves it.
And Layla, she actually made a good amount of money in women's boxing, like when she was fighting. She actually did, So it's like, I think it'll take a lot for her to unask her from her settings. Like, okay, what are we doing here? Well, I mean, obviously, it's probably because Layla's probably she was born in 1977, so she's 47 at least, if give or take. So, she's going to be 47 or she's 47 already. So it's like. Yeah, that ship has sailed. Like,
yeah. See, a couple of years ago, like when you 43, 44, like could have all right, but over the years, it just unless you're really training and you're sparring every now and then, and you getting used to getting hit, it's hard to like get back into that lifestyle.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, the training lifestyle is just because and I've trained, LB's trained, like we've trained to where we were like at peaks though, and we didn't it wasn't like we were out there winning championships or anything like that. It's a hard thing to do. It's hard.
Yeah, be disciplined and be doing that shit 4 to 5, 7 times a week, like. Nigga, we do that shit because we love that shit. Like but there ain't too many niggas, especially our age, doing that shit. Like,
right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because back then, like in my 20s, I loved doing that shit. I think it was just mostly just because I have reason that too. I can beat up more people if I'm in shape. That's how
I looked at it. Like, I'm in Florida with like so much random shit. You might. Boa constrictor fall out of a tree, wild horse, fucking alligator, zombie, nigga, racist cop. Like, who knows, bro? Like, it's just so much shit you got to be prepared for, bro. Like,
yeah, and like I said, and I love doing that shit too. But you gotta
have a love for it.
Yeah. But now my point is like I knew right now. Even just if I ever went into doing my old boxing workouts, I still have my old box. They're in folders in my hard drive. I still have. But
this you got to remember this too, bro. You're more into your career now too.
Yeah.
Remember, if you just stripped away everybody's responsibility and said, okay, all your responsibilities are done, meaning your crib paid up, your rent, whatever, your car, all that shit. And you can just do what the fuck you want to do. Like 9 times out of 10, niggas will be training their ass off.
Yeah, I've even said too, like my idea of early retirement is waking up, doing ring gang shit, and going to the gym for 3 hours, and then afterwards, indulge in my personal affairs. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just like that. That's my. Yeah. I would love to train for 3 hours.
So just imagine if niggas had to really do that shit, like how the boxers feel. So no, I get it. Like what they said about Ricky Hatton. He said, that ain't enough money to make me leave the pub at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's a whole lifestyle, and I get it. And I follow Layla on Instagram. She ain't trying to. She puts up pictures of her dogs, the NFL hubby she married to, her kids, and shit like that. She ain't, or sisters. She ain't, or Muhammad Ali. She ain't trying to fight no more. She's good.
Yeah, niggas ain't hard up. Niggas living that soft life now. Like niggas living it up. Like other people different. Like we got a little edge and shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hold on. Hey, what up, Rob? Great fighter, super annoyed, unfollowed while back. LOL. Annoying. Yeah. I feel you, like, bro. It's like, you know what they're saying? When they be like, man, you scaring the hoes, or like when you got that one goofy broad in the clique and shorty be like, man, you scaring the niggas, like yo, you scaring the fans, like yeah, that's perfect example of you scaring the fans. Like it's just
especially with like a 10% KO ratio. I'm just saying, like if he was a KO artist, like I'm just saying, I'm like, because KO's
yeah, of course.
I mean, her style.
At the end of the day, knockouts kind of correct everything.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you're unlikable, and also your style in the ring is kind of sweet scientific. It's not a good combo. I'm just saying, like
it's not even sweet scientific. It's more scientifically aggressive, but with no KOs.
Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the overhand slaps and combination slaps, and every now and then a good shot, like you gotta start putting these broads out. Like, damn.
Right.
It's like you too big and athletic not to be laying these shorties out. And when everybody points it out, there's always excuses. Oh, these women are tougher. Like, man, if you could crack, you could crack, yo.
Facts.
Damn, but what it is though, I know, like it was easier to tell what's the reason in her punching when she did the MMA.
Mm-hmm.
They film it a little bit. They film it a little different. You could easily see that Clarissa Shields doesn't rotate her hip on her shots.
Mm-hmm.
She might drop her knee and have the force behind it, or she might turn her fist over, but she's not really rotating the hip. Her punches don't have that torque on them, like from her body weight. So she never really puts her full body weight in her punches.
Not one bit of that. No.
Not at all. Because somebody her size should be like stopping people. Like, and I noticed it in the mitts. Like when she never pushes dudes back on the mitts either.
No. Yeah, but like I said,
you can see who I train. Like, I mean, niggas be pushing me back on the mitts.
Right.
I let you know the power, and none of the chicks I train weigh as much as Shields, and I guarantee they hit maybe harder pound for pound. So fuck that.
Well, hopefully when I think she fights like next week or something like that, or
ain't it this week? The 27th.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in terms, but yeah, it is this week. Yeah, it is this week. But yeah, she's fighting for
heavyweight.
Yeah, heavyweight. So we'll see. We'll see if she gets a stoppage in that one. It's probably. I mean, it's morbid curiosity. Saturday. I think I have plans. I don't even know if I'm even going to watch that, or if I'll be home to watch that. But of course it's on the zone, so I probably will catch it at some point.